So I found crypto in December 2017, and since then it's been about 6.5 years, almost 7 years since I got into crypto. I've been full-time for 4 years. I've spent thousands of hours on this industry, and there's been a lot of lessons and insights on this journey that I've gone from 5K when I started to having over $6 million now in my crypto portfolio. And I want to make this video to teach you guys some of the biggest lessons, some of the biggest insights that I've picked up from 7 years in the crypto game. And this will be really, really useful for anyone that's been in crypto for 1 year, for 4 years, for even 7 years. If you've been in as long as me, you're going to learn a lot from this video. So let's get into it. All right, 7 years of crypto advice. It's probably going to be a longer video. So if you're listening, get out a pen and paper or get out your phone, and you should be taking notes, because this is like 7 years of knowledge condensed into maybe like 30 minutes of video, right? This was me when I got into crypto, just a little kid. This was my first legal alcoholic drink. Now I'm 24, so it's been almost 7 years of crypto. It's been a long, long journey. And I want to get straight into the lessons for you guys. I've got about 8 different key insights that I've picked up from almost 7 years in the game. So lesson number 1 is something that not many people in crypto tend to be doing. And it's this idea of considering the risk up front. And the reason I put this one first is that a guy was messaging me a couple of days ago, and he told me, Daniel, I got into crypto years and years ago. I had 17 Bitcoin and I'm now down to about 100K US, because he got into a bunch of different meme coins and he's made a bunch of different mistakes, emotional decisions. And he told me, like, Daniel, this was money that I couldn't lose. This was money for my family, for my kids' tuition to go to university, to go to high school. This was money that I couldn't lose, but I've lost it. I need to make this money back. And the reason that this was completely wrong way to approach crypto is not just that he lost money. It was that he did not consider the risks of crypto up front. Because what I've realized in crypto after 7 years is that the worst possible outcome is almost always going to be your most likely outcome if it's your first market cycle. Imagine the worst thing that could possibly happen to your portfolio. That's probably the most likely thing that could happen to you, because you're new to crypto. It's incredibly volatile. You don't really make that much money in your first cycle. If you're lucky, you do. Or if you're very, very smart, if you're very good, you do. But most people, they lose it all. And so what you need to do is you need to consider the risks of what you're doing up front, because the worst scenario is the most likely scenario if it's your first cycle, okay? Because everyone loves to look at how much money that they can make. Everyone comes to crypto to get rich, but most people end up coming to crypto and getting poor. And it's because they don't consider what they could possibly be losing as a result of not considering the risks. What you need to ask yourself before any investment that you make, what is the worst possible scenario that could happen, that has happened to people who've done something similar to what I'm doing? And can I handle that situation, or is that going to completely fuck my life up? You got 100K and you need this money for your kids going to university, but you're trying to put it in the crypto to grow it in meme coins. You have to understand that the risk is that you could lose it all. Every time I buy a meme coin, I buy it 100% knowing that if that meme coin goes to zero, I have to be comfortable with that reality. That's a reality that I've accepted as a possibility. Because what happens if I own a bit of Toshi? What if the guy that runs Toshi or a whale just dumps down 90%, right? I've lost most of my money in Toshi. That's okay. I don't have a problem with this, because I have considered the risks up front. I accept them. It's like the terms and conditions on a website. When you download an app, it says sign the terms and conditions. You have to look at the terms and conditions of crypto. What is the risks? What is the potential reward? Do you accept? Yes or no? If you press yes and you lose it all, like, okay, whatever, that was the game. Now you play again. I've spoken to so many people who've lost money that they couldn't lose, and it was because they didn't consider the risk up front. And I know you watch this video for insights on how to make money, but in order to make money, you have to learn how to not lose money. You have to learn how to understand risk. This is how the best investors make money. They have a really solid understanding of risk. And when you understand how to control risk, you can then make reward. Lesson number 2 is that it doesn't matter how good you get. If you operate outside of your edge, you will get fucked as if it's your first day. So what do I mean by this? So when I got into crypto in 2017, I didn't know what I was doing. I was investing without any edge. I didn't have any special market insight. I have a notes thing in my Keep Notes app where I was comparing going to university versus going all in on crypto versus getting a job in like plumbing or something. With crypto, I basically said, okay, if I just double my money every year, which is not that hard, right? It's a conservative estimate. I'll be a millionaire in 5 years, starting with like 10K. That was like the math. And I was so naive to the fact that I didn't understand how markets work. You can't just double your money every 2 years as a beginner 18-year-old in crypto. And being able to make a consistent 2x is just unrealistic anyway. The best fund managers in the world fight to make 10%. Why would let's say I get to $1 million portfolio and I want to double it consistently. How's that going to happen? I'd be a trillionaire in 2 decades. So I just didn't have an understanding. I didn't have an edge. I didn't have anything. And a lot of you guys watching this are in the same boat. You don't have an edge. You don't fully understand the market. And what you need to understand is that when you operate from a position of not having an edge, you're not going to make money. And even me today, 7 years into the game where I've really honed in what I would consider a decent edge in the market, when I do things that are not this edge, when I step outside of my profession, I get fucked as if it's my first day. I'll do something stupid and I'll be like, man, I haven't done that since I got into crypto. I haven't done a bad investment like that since 2018. It's funny because you put all this time in, thousands of hours, and it's such a small little thing that will take you back to as if you've just began crypto again. So it is so important to stay within your lane, or to, if you're not investing within your lane, keep the risk small, because until you know what your lane is and you've really mastered that particular sort of sector or strategy or whatever it is, you have to play it careful because you're operating outside of your edge because you don't have one. So, what is my edge? We'll get into that in a minute. Just to give you an idea of how often I even make decisions in crypto or change my portfolio. There's 24 hours in a day, 365 days in a year. Of this time, I maybe spend about 0.01% actually doing buying and selling. Almost all of my time is spent doing other things. I spend very, very minimal time actually doing a buy or doing a sell. Maybe 3% of the days in the year I actually change anything on my portfolio. There might be 30 days in a year where I actually changed something. Isn't that a crazy thing to think about? But it's true. And that's because I have a very particular edge. One of my edges that I'll show you is my algorithms. I've designed algorithms with my team that give us an edge into the market. And this one in particular is a long-term investing algorithm. You can see that over the course of the start of the year, January 2023 to now, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then that's 10, 12, 18 signals. So that's 1.5 years. If we did something on every signal, we only really made about 18 different moves on our portfolio in 1.5 years. And not doing something and just sitting on your hands is actually a really, really valuable skill set as an investor. It's one of the most important things. It's, can you sit and hold a position as it's going up and up and up, right? If I was to just start buying and selling things today on a random given day, I would be as good at crypto as a dude who's having his first day, because I would not be operating from a position of having an edge. I would be basically doing straight up gambling. It is my ability to not do anything and wait for these moments where I do have an edge, which is where I've made all my money. So what I do is I design algorithms and I sit on my hands, and when these algorithms tell me to do something, I do them. Or when the algorithms send a signal, I have a look at the market and I see, is the market mispricing what it should be worth right now? So for example, this one here, signal goes off. I ask myself, is the market mispricing what's happening right now? Is Bitcoin mispriced? And here we were buying, so I said yes. All these other days I did nothing, right? Nothing. All of a sudden I did something, okay? So, and it's probably going to be the same for you guys. If you could just be buying and selling on any random day, you don't have an edge. The edge is this little period of time where you are better than everyone else at the game of crypto. I suck at crypto on most days. I got no fucking clue what I'm doing. But on a few days of the year, I'm the best. And as long as I only do things when I'm the best, I get the best returns, okay? And look, crypto is like a stadium, right? Imagine you're playing sports in a big stadium, and there's the basketball court, there's the tennis court, there's a little surfing wave pool here. I'm gonna draw a little barrel. Okay, that's my best wave impersonation. There's a big AFL field, if you guys know AFL from Australia. In order for you to make money in crypto, you have to pick a particular sport that you become the best at. So for me, with my algorithm, I'm the best at using this algo. This is my edge. So that's like me playing tennis all day. If I was to ever go over and play a different sport, I would be back at square one. If I play tennis and I'm the best at tennis and I go try to learn to surf, I'm going to suck at surfing. And it's because if you try something completely new, something that you haven't done before, obviously you're going to suck at it. And it's the same in crypto. You're an investor and you want to start learning to day trade. Cool. Well, day trading requires an entirely new set of skills. Obviously, some of the skills are the same, controlling your emotions, but it's still a completely different game. You can't just be a profitable investor and start making money trading. No, it's going to take a long fucking time. And so a lot of you guys watching this video, you're not good at tennis, you suck at basketball, you don't know how to surf, and you'd never heard of AFL. So the equivalent is you're not a good investor, you suck at trading, you can't farm airdrops, and you don't even know how to build algorithms. That's the equivalent. And so the only way that you're going to be able to make money is if you either get really good yourself at a particular sport, or if you basically play on the team of other people who are really good at sports. So you could either join the winning team and just be the one shit player who just copies everyone and tries his best and learns in the fastest growing environment, which is being surrounded by people who are pro, or you just become the pro yourself, right? There's only really two paths. And a lot of you are like sort of in this middle ground. It's like, you're not really on the winning team. You're like sort of on the grandstand watching, and you're hoping that you can just learn how to play from watching them. No, you're either on the winning team or you become the pro. That's the only two sort of scenarios where you make money in crypto. When I look back at like 7 years and I think about the money that I've made, I was reflecting on this and I was like, wow, the only times I've actually really made money was when I followed my algorithms, was when I networked and I got information from people that the market hadn't priced in, and I factored that into my decision making. So like insider info in the legal sense, not like, oh, the team told me that they're releasing an announcement tomorrow, more like just things that the market doesn't understand. Personal conviction from like a lot of research on a project, where you dig so deep into a project that you just know things more than most people who are looking at it, or acting on gut instinct. All of these different ways that I made money have one thing in common, and it's that it's an edge. Your edge doesn't have to be an algorithm. Your edge can literally just be, I've done this thing for 5,000 hours, and I can spot opportunities now based on pattern recognition. That's an edge. Another edge could be you just research shit so hard that you just know more about a particular coin than other people. And it's funny because when I look back at 7 years at crypto, the best investments that I ever made was when I found something that I liked, and that was like my main focus. When it was like this one coin that I'm just spending a lot of time looking at. When all my friends are all looking at it as well, and we just like analyze it like a hawk. When you focus on one coin, you can read it really fucking well. You time the bottoms perfectly, you sell the tops really well, and it's because you're focused in. When you analyze all the possible data around a particular coin, you're able to make the best possible decision on what to do, whether you buy or sell. When you analyze 10 coins and you got 30 coins in your portfolio, you don't have much time to look into each one, so you don't really get like a depth of like an edge. When you spend all your time on one coin, you get really good at buying and selling it, right? And that's why I did so well with Toshi. We'll talk about this again later. It's because that was like my main play. It was like, okay, we're focusing on this coin. All my close friends were all looking at this one. It was the coin. And that's why we did so well with it. Insider info, again, it's like, do you know people who have this? Do you know people who have this? Do you know people on the team? You know, like it's an edge. I used to follow calls on Twitter as well. I used to go to Twitter, you know, like years ago in like 2020, and I'd find the best investors that I could, and I'd make a list. And whenever they gave a call, I would like try to follow it. I literally have never made money following people on Twitter. I can't remember making more than 10 grand following someone on Twitter. It just doesn't happen. I don't know if anyone watching this has made lots of money following a Twitter call. Actually, I know a lot of people who made money on Toshi when I posted on Twitter. So those people did. Generally speaking, like you can't make it from Twitter calls. It's really, really hard. Some people can pull it off. I couldn't pull it off. It was easier to just make money myself, because crafting an edge is just the number one lesson in life. In everything that you do, it's all about the edge that you have. When you play Call of Duty, if you just run around the map without any thinking about where you're going to run to, what strategy you're going to follow, what loadout you're going to use, you're going to get destroyed by the guy with a strategy. If you look at any of the pro players of any particular sport, they have an edge. They have a strategy. They have certain things that they pre-plan that they will do. Same for everything in life. Sports, business, even like dating, even like in the gym, you have a certain workout routine. In volleyball, you have key positions. Every sport has different people who do different things. So ask yourself, what's the advantage that you have in crypto over others? Everyone else who takes anything in life seriously has an edge. So you, as someone who also takes life seriously, what's your advantage? Maybe you're not taking crypto as seriously as you think if you don't have a clear advantage. If you can't summarize in one sentence what your clear edge is, you might not have one. You know, it's very clear to me what my edge is. And if you're watching this and you don't have a clear edge, it's a problem, because crypto is an insider's game. The guys who are on the inside, who have the edge, who have the connections, who know the team, who launch the coins, they got the unfair advantage. And the only way you can beat them is if you can build your own edge, okay? Edge. I know I talk about edge a lot. I think in crypto, in order to make lots of money, you've got two approaches from a time perspective. I think you either spend like 0 time or you spend all your time. When I think of the guys who've come to me and they've said, Daniel, I've made a lot of money, guys who turned like 40K into $1 million in my mastermind, guys who were just doing crypto by themselves and they came to me and they're just crushing it, who were not in my mastermind, anyone in general. When I think about the guys who've seen success, there's like 2 stories that I see repeating over and over and over again. Even on Twitter, the guys on Twitter who make money. It's either one of 2 scenarios. Guy number 1, he's like, man, I don't spend any time on crypto. I just run a business. I just follow this one guy that I really trust, and he's made me like tons of money from a couple calls. So there's the guy who spends 0 time. Or there's the guy who's like, man, I've been in the fucking trenches. I spent all day looking at crypto. I did a 300x on this new meme coin, and I just printed money and I rolled it into another meme coin and I made like a 30x. I'm at $1 million now. I started with like 3 grand. You know, there's like those 2 extremes. There's never like the guy who's like, yeah, man, I do crypto 15 15 hours a week, 10 hours a week, trading meme coins. I just do it on the side. I've made tons of money. That guy doesn't really exist. He doesn't really come to me. I never really heard that guy. So I think the moral of the story from what I've seen is that you either spend zero time and your edge is in your ability to wait and make just a couple really good decisions following someone who's a pro, or you're like in the trenches all the time, farming any possible alpha, hermit mode, dedicated to crypto. On one extreme, you utilize patience, minimal decisions. On the other, you're just getting maximum reps, maximum skill level acquisition. You're grinding. And yeah, anyone in the middle got wrecked. You're doing meme coin trading with 10 hours a week, or you're spending all day analyzing charts to do a long-term investment. This is actually another way people lose money. They're a long-term investor, yet they constantly have to look at the market. They constantly have to know where the price is going. You're better off buying Bitcoin when it crashes and just forgetting you even hold it. Those guys do better. In fact, if you look at the best investors in the world, often it's people who died because they literally just can't do anything. They just have to hold. Isn't that funny? The best investors are dead. They don't do anything. Your portfolio should look like you're dead. You should be like a dead man. People should look at your wallet on chain and think, holy fuck, has this guy died? They should look at your Bitcoin on transactions and think, this guy definitely like lost his ledger or he died or something. That's what it should look like if you're following the zero time side of things, right? Okay, number 4, always take profit. It's especially important if you're investing into like the meme coin stuff, because like with going to the gym, your muscles get stronger by using them. Your take profit skills get better by using it. If you think you're going to take profits at the end of the bull run, but you've never taken profits before, that's stupid. If you think you're going to bench press 100 kilos and you've never gone in the gym before, you're stupid. You don't know what you're doing. What, you're going to deadlift 200 kilos or something and you've never gone in the gym before? How the fuck are you going to do that? Taking profit is a muscle that you need to exercise if you plan on using it. And this is why I tell people, like, even though it's not the end of the bull run, learn to take profits. It's a skill. It's a muscle. You got to start working that shit out. How are you going to take profit if you've never done it before? You're not going to do it. For example, I just think it's a perfect case study of a lot of these lessons. We bought it on October 1st, 2023. Back here, down at the bottom. We bought it here. We didn't buy it here. We bought it over here. And now we sold some. We sold 25% of our meme coins on March 5th. I told people that you got to start working out your profit-taking muscles. So on Toshi, March 5th is here. It was this peak. It went 2x afterwards, but it was a decent exit, right? 170 million market cap, 2.5 million market cap. Thank you, Base God. We exited at the exact top. We basically created the top on Thank you, Base God, because we had a large percentage of this. And now this one's gone down. I also told everyone in my mastermind, I said, you guys are making too much money. This is a bad sign. Like, this is a bad sign. It's a sign of a local top. If you can't see your portfolio dropping 70% before new highs and take some profit, I said, you're probably going to lose 70% of your money in the coming months on memes. And a lot of people saw this advice. They saw that I put a sell signal and they didn't sell. They said to themselves, Daniel, I'm just going to hold. I don't want to take profits. I think we're going to go higher. You said that we might go higher, new highs after this retracement. I'm just going to hold. And these people, I think I'm just going to go next week. I'm going to eat really well this week and I'm going to go next week. I think the gym's going to be more quiet next week. It's going to be a really good session. It's like, no, you got to gym today. You got to start working out. You're going to lose your muscle if you don't start using it, especially if you've never used it before. So this is just another lesson. Always be taking profits. Most people, by the time they sell, it's too late. Here's the lessons of what you should take away from what I just showed you. No one expects the crash before it comes. So I told everyone, like crash is probably coming. A lot of people were like, whatever. They didn't sell. You need to take profit, especially when it feels wrong. Every old coin is a ticking time bomb, often with less time left before it explodes than you expect. So a lot of you buy a coin and you think you've got a 2-year horizon of where you can hold this thing and then outperform the market. But often the outperformance period is a lot shorter than you think. As your coin moons, always ask yourself if you can handle losing a large percent of profits on declines. So for example, with Toshi, as this thing is rallying more and more and more, the higher it goes, the higher the probability that it's going to have a 60, 70, 80, 90% drop. And you need to ask yourself as it's rallying, I've made all this money right now. Can I hold this down 80%? Would I be able to deal with the volatility of losing 80% of the value that I have today? Because if your portfolio ever gets to a size where you don't want to lose that money, it's life-changing. And you ask yourself the question of, if it drops 80%, can I handle that? And the answer is no. Then that sets you up for a very logical reason to take a lot of profit. And that's what happened for a lot of people here. They made life-changing money. I know a lot of guys who made their first $1 million ever in their life by literally just fucking buying a meme coin. And I told them, it's probably going to go down 80%. Yeah, you turned 40K into $1 million, but it's probably going to go back to $200,000. Can you deal with that before it potentially goes higher? That's what I asked them. And then that gives a pretty clear answer. Oh, well, $1 million. My kids are going to go to university soon. I could probably take it out and put it into their college tuition fund. Okay. There's a number of different ways that you could approach it. Now, once you've taken profits, this is actually a really big lesson that I learned. So in the last bull run, there was a few coins that I made good money on and I would eventually sell them. And it's a situation where you form an emotional attachment to the bag. I don't do this anymore, but I used to do it. And I'm trying to remember what it felt like. But you would buy a coin and you would research it and you'd really like this coin. You'd be like, yeah, this
this coin's going to change my life. You know, if you buy a new coin in a bull run, that's where it performs its best. And every 3 to 6 months, it gets worse and worse and worse in terms of its expectation of performance, because you get closer to unlocks. The project gets closer to having never delivered anything. People care about it less. It's in an old niche. So on any coin that you don't think is going to do a multi-cycle outperformance, you need to have like a 2-year stopwatch, give or take. You can hold a new old coin for like 2 years maximum. After that, you've got to sell it and move on to the next one. And also, if you buy a coin and you've made a bunch of money on it and you take profit, generally speaking, you should never buy that coin again. You don't have any special skills buying and selling it. You were just in the right place at the right time. And you're better off finding the next one than rebuying the same one. There is outliers. I made a bunch of money on Solana and I rebought it this bull run. Solana is a different case. It's a coin that is showing that it might do multi-cycle outperformance, okay? You can see here, it's just a different breed. But for like any meme coins, for any particular shit altcoin, maybe except for like Doge, or just don't buy it again. Because a lot of people, they get lazy. They find a coin they like and they can't be bothered to keep finding new coins. And so that's their coin now. That's their dog. That's their friend. That's their wife, right? And they put a ring on it and then they're stuck there forever. Can't get stuck in the past. So for example, when I'm out of Toshi, I don't think I'll buy it again. Why would I buy Toshi again? I'll just find a new Toshi. Another lesson from 7 years of crypto is that the journey to massive returns is littered with massive drawdowns. When you ride a coin 40x, 100x, 300x, it's not a straight line. Now, obviously that's common sense. In the moment, it's not common sense. You will hold a coin, it'll go up 10x, and then it will drop 50%. If you haven't seen that before, you'll start shitting yourself because everyone on Twitter will start saying how bad the coin is. And the better the coin, the more they're going to say how bad it is. Because the more they talk about it, the more it lives rent-free in people's minds, the more of a recovery it's going to make. The better the coin, the harder it's going to be to hold. Because the voices of the bearish are going to be stronger and stronger and stronger. So you're going to hear everyone telling you to sell your coin at the bottom. If it's your first cycle, you're going to shit yourself. You're going to go, fuck, like, I think I should sell. Everyone's telling me I should sell. Your herd following instinct is going to kick in. But you need to understand that these people's opinions are irrelevant. If you believe in this coin, the journey is going to be volatile. Right here is an example. You buy it here. Everyone tells you you're a genius here, and everyone tells you you're an idiot and you need to sell it here. And you just need to do nothing. You just need to sit on your hands if it's a good coin and just keep holding it this whole way up as it makes higher highs. Because in crypto, you get paid for the volatility that you can handle, and volatility is also the price you pay for outsized returns. You want to make a lot of money, you have to deal with a lot of volatility. Just to reference the Toshi chart, because it's right here. Every single time it did this, everyone shit or better coins, every crash, but you just got to keep holding. If you have a thesis, you got to let it play out. You know, you can't get shaken out with the volatility. This coin is so volatile. Look at it. It went down 70% in a few months. Stocks ain't going to do that. Apple's not going to go down 70% in 3 months. Volatility, this is the price you pay. Number 7, yield's overrated. Obviously, if you really want to be a DeFi degen, go chase your yield. Like if you want to, go for it. But in my experience, I think yield's overrated. Yield meaning locking up your money and trying to get a percentage return on it. So you stake your money or you lend it, whatever it is, right? And you get a % return. I think it's overrated. I think what you should be doing is chasing delta. Delta is the price change of an asset. So if you buy a coin at $1 and you sell it at $2, that's delta. When you farm for yield, there is almost always a rule with the lockup. You lock up your money. When you chase delta, you don't have lockups. When you chase yield, you get a guaranteed small return. When you chase delta, you get a not guaranteed, much larger return. So you lock up your money in yield, you get a small return, almost guaranteed. In delta, a much bigger return. You don't lock your money up, it's not guaranteed. That sounds like a much better deal to me than yield. Because let's say you buy a coin and then you lock it up for 20% yield. You've combined delta and yield together. It sort of fucks you over. You're trying to extract too much from the market and it's going to fuck you over. Because for example, let's say you lock up XYZ coin. An XYZ coin, you have to keep it locked for 14 days before you can unlock it if you ever decide to unlock. And let's say my algorithm sends a sell signal and you go, oh shit, I've got to sell this coin now. You go to unlock it. You got to wait 2 weeks before you can sell. By the time you get to sell in 2 weeks, the price is already down 20%. Your yield might have been 15%. So now you've actually made 5% less money and your money was locked up. You couldn't do anything with it. In this scenario, you sort of fucked yourself over. And how my strategy works, a signal will come out of nowhere. It's not like I can forward predict the sell signal 2 weeks from now. No, the sell signal will come out of nowhere when I need to sell. And so what I prefer to do is I prefer to maximize delta profit than try to chase a bit of yield, which is going to try to mess with my delta. If you want to do things different, you go for it. But this is just what I've learned since 2017. Last lesson is lone wolf wolves don't make millions. All the crypto millionaires that I know, they network quite a lot. They know other crypto millionaires, or they know other crypto degens, people deep in the trenches. And they've made a bunch of friends hanging out in Discord communities. They've joined different pay groups and met people. They work in teams. They have little Telegram group chats where they all sort of hang out and share alpha together with each other. And they work to rig the odds in their favor in any way that they can. It's sort of like when I used to play video games, and of all the players who were really good, there would be like clans. There was a game I used to play called Combat Arms. It was like a first-person shooter. And on this game, you could make clans where you could basically put a bunch of people together and you could go in competitions with other clans and you would win prizes. And all the really good people wanted to be on teams with all the other really good people. And when you put 10 pro combat players on a team against anyone else that's worse than them, they dominate. Their edge is that they work better together as a team than individually. And it's the same thing in crypto. You put 10 millionaire crypto pros in a room together in a clan, and they take on everyone else who doesn't have a network, who doesn't have connections, who doesn't have an edge. They just fucking obliterate everyone else. It's just not even a fair comparison. It's not even a fair match. And that's how crypto works. You've got the teams who build the coins, you've got the influencers who promote them, and then you've got the early whales who buy them, and they just extract all the money from everyone else who doesn't have a team, who doesn't know what they're doing, they're new to the market, and they just print money. And this is why lone wolves don't make money, because every single millionaire that I know follows that blueprint that I just explained to you. Now, obviously, there's the occasional rare solo millionaire guy who made money by himself, who got rich without really working with anyone else or without having, friends. But very, very rare scenario to occur. The ones who make it, they're making friends in Discords, they're joining Telegram communities, they're trying to break their way into higher level circles, and that's how they end up making it. So to finish this video off, if you're interested in working with me, in getting mentorship from me, in joining my team, my community, I do run a mastermind here that you can learn about on this website. It basically has all my guidance, all my signals. You can connect with all the different guys in my network. If you're just looking to level up in crypto, it's the sort of place that you'd want to go. So that's all the lessons for this video. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this. And I do have a free Telegram community where I share insights like this daily. So if you want to join, that'll be in the link below as well. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers.